Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fall-inspired makeup tutorial. I've already done my foundation, bronzer, concealer, all that good stuff, so I'm just going to be showing you eyes, cheeks, and lips on this video. I am going to be using the Tarte in Bloom eye palette, so I'm just going to stick with this one eyeshadow palette for the entire eye, and as always, this is going to be a really simple, easy, quick eye makeup look. So most of my tutorials are very easy and quick. I don't involve a lot of steps. I try not to involve a lot of products just because I'm a mom of 2 little girls and I don't have time to spend on my makeup like I did before kids. And so I'm gonna, and I assume that most of us are really busy, so I try and keep my makeup looks really quick and easy. So this look is gonna be no different. So let's go ahead and get started. So I realized I forgot to bring my eye primer upstairs, so I'm just gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer to prime my eyes. I'm just gonna put a teeny bit right there. This stuff is so thick. A little bit of this goes a very long way. So I'm even using different fingers to apply it so that I really just don't use more than I need. A little puffy today. Anytime I have any alcohol, I kind of puff up. I had 2 glasses of wine last night and I'm so puffy. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the eyeshadow Charmer, which is the matte, pretty much white shade here. I'm going to grab a little bit of this, and I'm actually going to grab a tiny bit of this shade Funny Girl up here in the corner just to give a little bit of highlight, and I'm going to put that right underneath my eyebrow. Okay, I'm also going to take that same color Charmer, and I'm just going to go right here in the inner corner just to give a subtle bit of brightness there. So next I'm going to go in with the shade Sweetheart, which is this matte pink shade right here. It's kind of a mid-tone pink, and I'm going to use this as my transition shade. I'm using a 224 brush by MAC, so it's going to pick up the color and apply it pretty sheerly. This brush is a great blending brush. It doesn't pick up a whole lot of product though, so that's good if you are using a color that has a lot of pigment and you kind of want to have a little more control over how much product gets on the skin. It might take you a little more time to build up a lot of color if that's what you're going for, but you can do it in a very controlled fashion so you're less likely to make mistakes or apply too much. And I'm just going to apply that basically on the outer corner of my crease here and just kind of work my way in, just so that I have a really soft diffusion of color more in the inner corner and more color concentrated on the outer corner. My 2 eyes are very uneven. I have one eye that is a lot smaller than the other. So sometimes I have to compensate and kind of take my crease color a little bit higher just to kind of try and balance that out. Next I'm going to take this shade that's next to it. It's slightly darker. Actually, it's quite a bit darker. It's called Rebel. And I'm going to grab a little bit of that and I'm going to kind of layer it on top of where I just applied that first color, but I'm going to keep this more focused on the outer corner. I'm almost not even really picking my brush up. I just apply it in the corner where I want it and then I just wiggle it back and forth. So I'm not really picking it up and moving it across my eyelid. I'm just kind of really wiggling it, for lack of a better word, in the same spot to soften and blend out that product. I really like working with this palette. I think it's a really good, neutral, versatile palette that'll work well throughout the year. So summertime, fall, winter. It's just a good palette to use year-round, I think. Oh, I'm so puffy this morning. Okay. So next I'm going to grab this shade right here. It's called Firecracker, and it's this really warm, reddish, bronzy shade. And it has shimmer to it. I'm going to grab it with a basic shader brush by MAC. This is the 213. So I really just loaded up the side of my brush. I didn't go in here with the tip. I really just loaded up the side. Then I'm going to tap off any excess so that I don't have a lot of fallout, since I already have done my concealer and my foundation. I don't want to go back and have to clean up a mess. And I'm just going to really press this on the center of my eyelid. It's almost like I'm kind of stamping it on the skin. This is going to be the best technique to get the most product applied and to stick and to stay in place. If I were to go back and forth like I was blending, like I did similar to the crease, it's just going to shear it out, and it's going to take me longer to get the color and the look that I want. So I'm just pressing, pressing, pressing. I've left the very inner corner of my eyelid a little bit bare. The only thing that's there right now is that really light matte white that I put in the beginning. But I think I am going to go in with a tiny bit of the shade Funny Girl, which is this shimmery light shade, and I'm just gonna put a little bit there. Now, since I have the majority of my eyeshadow on, I can tell that I can afford to go a little bit darker in the outer crease, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab this shade right here. It's called Leader, and it's basically the darkest reddish matte brown, and I'm going to take a tiny bit of that and just pop this on the outer corner. So you can see what that does between the two eyes. It just gives it a little bit more depth, a little bit more drama. When I have eyeliner on, I think it's going to really tie this all together. For liner, I'm going to line the top and lower lashes with this liner by Pixie Beauty. You can get this at Target, and this is the shade Bronze Beam. So I'm just going to go kind of right here on the outer corner of my eye. I'm not too concerned with getting it perfect because I'm going to go over that with shadow. I just want some liner there. One, because this is a really soft kohl eyeliner, so it's going to grab any eyeshadow that I'm going to put on top of it and intensify it just a tad. And I'm going to line about halfway over my lower lash line with this. I'm not taking it all the way over to the inner corner of my eye. Depending on your eye shape, you may or may not do that. I kind of have smaller, more almond-shaped eyes, and I really want to make them appear more bright-eyed and wide and bigger. So by taking it all the way over, I'm kind of enclosing it. By stopping halfway, it's giving it a little bit more of a round, open look. Then I'm taking an angled brush. Any small, precise brush that you have would do. This is a little bit bigger than I normally would use, but this is what's nearby. And I'm going to grab this shade here. It's called Activist, and it's the second darkest shade in the palette. It's like a really super dark brownish black. And I'm just going to go over the outer corner of my lash line where I put that liner. And the same thing on the bottom. I'm going to use the same shade on the bottom with this brush. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of loose powder and lightly dust away any little fallout that might be there that I can't see. Okay, so this would be when I would apply mascara to my top lashes. I have lash extensions though, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to apply a little mascara on my lower lash line though. And I'm just grabbing what I have near. I have the Voluminous Lash Paradise by L'Oreal, and I think this is the waterproof one. I really like this mascara a lot. It's very, very thick though, and it does kind of get a little clumpy quicker, so you have to replace it and go through it a little faster than you do other mascaras, but it's a great mascara. Next, I am going to line the inner rim of my eye to brighten it up, and I'm using this one by Maybelline. It is the Lasting Drama Waterproof Gel Pencil. I've been using this for the last few weeks, and I really like it for the waterline. I find that it really stays on well throughout the day, and it does a great job of just brightening up that waterline. I love doing this little trick. I think that it just does so much for the eyes, especially for someone like me who's always seems to be tired. I don't really get a lot of sleep or good sleep, and I have really irritated eyes a lot, so this kind of brightens them up and makes them look a little bit more awake and bright-eyed. For blush, I'm using the blush that I can't put down at the moment. It's the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush, and it's the shade Party. This is currently the Sephora birthday gift, I believe, because this is like the little small sample size that I have, and I just love this blush so much. I think it's great for year-round, but really good for fall too, because it's just a nice mid-tone rosy shade that's matte. It doesn't have any shimmer to it. It's so pretty. And I'm using the MAC 137 brush to apply it. I'm just going to put a little bit of that on the apples of my cheeks. For lips, I'm going to line my lips with the Bare Minerals lip liner in the shade Empowered. Because this is a very precise lip liner, I'm going to go and kind of gently fill in my lips a little bit more, just so I don't have this really harsh lip liner look. I'm just gonna kind of drag down from that line into my lips. This is also gonna keep my lipstick on all day. Then I'm gonna take the lipstick C211 by Makeup Forever. This is the Artist Rouge lipsticks. These are such a great formula, you guys. They are so pigmented. They're very long wearing because they have so much pigment in them. They're not matte, but they're not really glossy either. They're just really comfortable cream lipsticks on the lips. And I think this shade is one of the most versatile shades. This would be like the most ideal color, I think, to have in a makeup kit because it is so universal and it looks good on so many people. And it's nice because it's not a super bold lip, but it's not a muted nude lip either. It gives just enough color. It's great for photos. It's great for brides. And I think it's great for fall too because it is kind of more of that fall shade. It is so pigmented. So this is a lot darker than I normally wear on my lips, but I think it's fall appropriate. So you could top this with a lip gloss if you wanted. I'm gonna leave it matte, which is totally out of my comfort zone, but I think that it's nice to do something a little different, especially for a fall-inspired makeup look. But that completes the look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I will leave all the products linked down below, so feel free to check those out. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so before you leave so you don't miss future videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!